welcome back to my channel. In this week's video, I'm going to be telling you guys the 5 things I miss the most about living in China. Although I only lived there for half a year, it feels like much longer, and there are things I legitimately miss about living there now that I live back at home in the Netherlands. So the first thing I miss about living in China, or Suzhou more specifically, is the street food at night. I absolutely love the fact, like the whole concept actually, of having street food at night. I would prefer it to be like somewhat earlier, but this is not possible because the street food starts when the buses stop driving, which is like around 10, and so the street food usually starts around 10:30 or 11, and in the summer holiday they often didn't start till like 12 a.m. like midnight. So with regards to that, it does start really late. I just love the whole experience of being able to go out and eat something so late at night, getting something, you know, just a snack. It's a perfect opportunity to hang out with your friends after studying. Even in the summer holiday when I was with Julian and the street food started extremely late, Julian and I loved going out eating street food. We did it almost every single day when we were in Suzhou. Yeah. Almost every single day. It was basically our dinner every single night. And we loved it. We both loved it. So like that's the main thing like Julian and I really miss about Suzhou. We love the street food there. So the second thing I miss about China is the fact that stores are open till 10 p.m. See, where I live in the Netherlands, like all stores close at 6 p.m. Doesn't matter what day it is, everything closes at 6 p.m. And that is so extremely early. Supermarkets close at 10 p.m. But that's about it. In China though, almost everything stayed open till 10 p.m. And there are also convenience stores like Family Mart that stay open 24/7. So if you live in the student dorms in Suzhou, there's a Family Mart downstairs, very close to the student dorms, so you can just go downstairs at 4 in the morning if you want to and go get something to drink or eat. And I just love that. I love the 24/7 concept. I love the nightlife. You know, it's kind of like the street food. The street food is also really late. Like there's always something to do. I don't know, I just love that. So the third thing I miss about China is never needing to cook. So when I lived in China, sometimes I missed being able to cook. Like just missed being able to cook like a pasta or something, because that is not something you can easily find or buy in China. And yeah, I just miss simple stuff like that. But in general, like the whole experience, I loved not needing to cook every single day, every single night, and having to do the dishes every single day. I just loved the freedom of going out and eating every single day or having food delivered. You know, it was very convenient, and like it really felt like luxurious too. I mean, it was a lot of fun not needing to worry about, you know, cooking and doing dishes and stuff like that. And a lot of international students there do not cook because going out to eat is extremely cheap. So for example, the street food we were just talking about, you can buy like a real decent meal for 8 yuan. So what more is there to say? So the fourth thing I miss about living in China is the modern payment system. I love being able to pay for everything with your phone. I always used Alipay, and I paid for everything with Alipay. I only brought my phone with me everywhere, and that's the only thing I ever needed. I didn't need any cards or cash or anything. I only brought my phone, and I could pay for anything anywhere. Even the street food vendors, you could pay with your phone by just scanning a QR code. You can buy anything with your phone, and I just love that modern payment system because here in Europe, you need to bring cards or cash, and you know, some people have started using their phone to pay, but it's really not integrated into the system yet. So yeah, it doesn't really count. I just love being able to pay everything with your phone. The only downside is if your phone runs out of battery, you can't pay for anything anymore. You can't do anything anymore. But luckily this has never happened to me before, so I'm not worried about it. So the last thing I miss about living in China is the affordable public transportation. I loved how cheap the public transportation is there. Especially like arriving back home, it was extremely confronting to see like how expensive it is to use public transportation here. And dealing with cheap public transportation really gives a feeling of freedom, being able to go anywhere and everywhere, even across the country in China. You know, it's very affordable. So I really miss that. Julie and I both miss that. I touched upon it a little bit in my previous video last week, how we loved using the bus because it was so affordable. And it was, like, the seats are made of plastic, which is a lot cheaper than the cushioned ones we have here in Europe, but I feel like that is so unnecessary. I actually felt like the plastic ones in China are very, very comfortable, and actually I prefer them because they're very easy to clean. Whereas the ones here, they get stained and dirty and you can't clean them anymore. So you're often sitting on like dirty chairs and I don't know, you're paying a premium price for it too. So yeah. So initially I was gonna keep this list to 5 things as I've done with my other videos. But there was one more thing that I really like about China that I just feel like had to be in the list. So it's gonna be 6 things instead of 5. The actual last thing is I love how in China, in the evenings, and especially on Sundays, people go out onto the streets, they play music and they just dance. This isn't just in Suzhou, but this is basically throughout all of China. I've seen it in Suzhou, I've seen it in Xi'an, I've seen it in Hangzhou, I've seen it everywhere and nowhere. There are probably other places we've seen it, but I just love the atmosphere. I love how happy people are, just carefree, dancing with each other, having fun. It's very amusing to watch. I love it. And it immediately lifts up your mood. I mean, where else in the world can you see people dancing on the streets in the evening? So that basically rounds up this video. If you've ever lived in China, please let me know in the comments down below what you love most about living in China. Thanks for watching this video, and I'll see you next week, guys. Bye, guys! What do you want?